Harlan Municipal Utilities Board of Trustees meeting, August 22nd, 2024 at 4 p.m. Do I have an approval of the agenda?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
A second.
Roll call?
Yeah, we don't need roll call for
Oh.
agenda approval.
Okay, number 3, approval of consent agenda. All items listed under the consent agenda will be enacted by one motion with one roll call vote. There will be no separate discussion on these items unless a request is made prior to the time the board votes on the motion. Consent agenda items may include non-controversial subjects.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Can I get a second?
Al, do we have a second?
Second.
Roll call?
Moss, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Nichols, aye.
Okay. Number 4, Shelby County Chamber of Commerce and Industry annual funding request for fiscal year 2024 to 2025, payable in August of 2024 in the amount of $35,000.
Annual contribution to the chamber to help cover their operating expenses.
And it's been the same amount since 2018. It's just, you know, an annual request that we have.
Did we go up though, Todd, was it 25 and we just went up? Is this just the second year? I think we were
No,
25 and then we went to 35, didn't we?
2018 was the first time you did 35, yeah.
Oh, okay,
Seemed like it was sooner than that.
yeah, okay.
No, yeah, I double checked that today in case the
Okay.
question came up.
Time flies then, I guess, right?
And, yeah.
Do you have any questions on that? Okay, we get a roll call.
Do we need a motion?
Motion, do we
Do
have
we
a
have a motion to approve it?
Motion to pay the 35,000 to the chamber.
Al, second?
I'll
Do you
second.
have a second?
Roll call.
Moss, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Ickes?
Nichols, aye.
And number 5, Harlan Municipal Utilities Raw Water System Improvement Sections 1 through 4, pay app number 13 in the amount of $62,359.90.
Yeah, ongoing payment to McCarthy Trenching for work completed to date. Yeah, and then I guess the estimates are getting smaller, I mean, because we're getting, you know, we're starting to get towards the end of it here, so. Except for when we get to the point where we have to do that deep well number 35, I mean, that'll be a bigger expense, but the main part of the project's moving right along, getting close to the end.
Joe, did that amount change from the one that they sent to the one that was signed? Because when I got the signed one back, it's only 58,000.
$371.48.
The one that I sent out in the packets was
Yeah, I think that should be the up-to-date one, right?
62.
Yeah,
Okay,
58,371.48.
so it changed,
Yeah.
and we should probably note that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's note that the amount due is $58,371.48
Yes.
Correct.
instead of $62,359.90.
And the change was, that was an early on one that was sent, I guess, when we were getting the agenda put together. We looked at the quantities, went back in, and then reduced some of the completion amounts or percentages on some of the items. So that's why we're reduced from what the original was.
Do we have a motion,
Do we have a motion to approve the
I'll make
pay app
that motion.
13?
To approve.
Yeah, I'll second that motion.
okay. Can we have a roll call, please?
Sheldon, aye.
Moss, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Nichols, aye.
Thank you.
So we-
Number 6, recommendation for Al Powers of P&E Engineering for pay app number 3 for the 2023-2024 overhead to underground conversion project in the amount of $279,487.18.
Yeah, on that item, there again, ongoing payment to LFI/Burns Electric for work completed to date. According to the estimate put together by Al with PD Engineering, we're just under 50% complete as far as what's been paid out so far.
Is the completion date this year?
Is the completion date this year?
No, it's actually spring, no, summer of next year, summer of '25.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do you have any other questions? Can I get a motion?
I would make that motion.
Okay. Al motion. Do I have a second?
Yeah, I'll go ahead second.
Okay, roll call.
Schultz, aye.
Moss, aye.
Michelle, aye.
Nichols, aye.
Okay, number 7, approval of the 405 Chatburn building improvements with the recommended and only quotation from Lining Construction in the amount of $86,732.87 for items B1 and B2, only partially budgeted.
Yeah, the hope before we did this project, we went ahead and bid like 13 items. I think we talked about it previous board meeting.
Right.
We tried to bid everything so we had an idea moving forward as far as the budget in future years, the remaining work. The hope was that when we, prior to bidding, that from estimates that we tried to gather, that we would be able to complete 4 of the 13 bid items. There's just over 75,000 budgeted over the last 2 budget years for maintenance work down there. After bidding, there are 2 items that we feel are the most important to complete, which is the B1, B2, the new overhead door on the west side of the old office building, and replacing all the existing overhead doors on the old Chuck Bay area. These existing doors are not insulated on that building, and the weather stripping is missing on quite a bit of those doors. I think they're original doors. Truck Bay is heated because we do park one of our potholers and both of our boring rigs in that building along with some other equipment, so we heat that during the winter. We'd like to amend the budget, I guess, to get at least those 2 items completed so that we can move transformers, wire, etc. inside the old office area, and then also save on heating costs in that truck bay area by replacing those non-insulated doors on that part of the building.
Is this a combined utility bill, or where is this total?
That would be coming out of electric, gas, and water. Only reason telecom is not in on part of that is just because the fiber splicing trailer and anything that's got to do with, you know, the telecom or fiber system is basically owned by the electric department and leased by the telecom department. So that's why it's a 3-way split on this work.
And we decided to only do those 2 for what? Because of budget.
Because of budget, yes.
Yep.
And then we would turn around and next year probably try to rebid the remaining items. And again, you know, just so we're competitive, get you know, a number of quotes, just so we're competitive on that on the rest of the items.
So which one of the utilities doesn't have it in their discretionary funds right now to cover the full request? The water department doesn't have it in their discretion?
Basically, that shortfall, Jim, would be covered by all 3. All 3 of them had budgeted amounts in this current budget and last year's budget.
The money's there, it just wasn't budgeted.
Okay, yep,
Yeah.
so that's clear, I understand, so.
And I don't know, I mean, I think part of the gap was on what I had estimated going off of some suppliers and everything. I thought I had some cushion in there on those items, but obviously I think maybe the storm damage affects things a little more than what maybe I thought as far as door, especially overhead doors and stuff with the recent events that we had.
So it's not an insurance?
Correct, it would not be insurance. Just, I guess, probably lack of maintenance through years. We need to get caught up on.
Get a motion to approve? If there's no more.
Do we have a motion?
So I have one more question. What is the total? In other words, we're asking for B1 and B2 because we stated we don't have it in the budget, but we stated we have the funding, it's just not budgeted. So what is the total requirement for this 405 Chapman building?
If we go with the alternate bid, $183,837.81. That would cover all 13 items. Well, I guess the alternate had 12 items.
And
But you were just asking for the $86,000 bid,
Correct. And like I said, then we would turn around,
and that was an $11,000 shortfall of what was budgeted.
correct. I guess, like I said, we were hoping to be able to do B3 and B13 also for that amount, but like I said, just the way the numbers came in.
So if we rebudget the rest of it next year, the possibility is that it's gonna be more, yeah, right?
Yeah, there's always that possibility, Al, that, nothing's going down, but
I don't know if you
Right.
heard Joe say before that he thought he did budget a cushion in there, but it still came higher than what he thought it would be.
Yeah, yeah.
regrettably, we don't have another quote to compare to, but
Because you gave it out to like 4 different companies, right?
3.
3?
And we had it on Facebook and everything too for anybody else to try to give us quotes on. But I physically, tried to contact whoever I could here in town to let them know it was out there.
Does this bid include, I see you had Arnold's Construction in there. Are they a part of this?
Yeah, correct, Al. They're gonna, I guess Line and Construction's kind of teaming with them to help get the work done. Because
Okay.
what was written in the bid, since that east side is heated where the potholer, boring rig and a lot of the other equipment is, where that's heated, the request was to have that complete by, I think it was by December 1st, before we get really into cold weather, so to get those overhead doors replaced. The door in the west side of the building in the old office area, that is not heated. That's just gonna be cold storage. Like I said, transformers, wire, fiber, rolls. I think we gave them till I'd have to go back and look in the specs or the plan. I think we gave them till I don't remember if it was March or April to get that door put in. Just so we were not trying to force them, I guess, to get everything done before the end of the year. To hopefully help with the unit price.
Well, I do know the east doors have been in bad shape for many years.
Mm-hmm.
And the west door is brand new, that's correct, right?
Correct. Basically, that west door will go in just south of where the old, payment drop box is, and there's 2 vertical windows there, kind of right where those vertical windows are, is where we're proposing to make that opening. And of course, there'll be a little bit of concrete work to do to kind of connect to our existing parking out there. That, I guess I'm proposing that we would do that with our internal labor. It's just a small area.
So just one last question. What is, under your budget, where does this fall? Is this a CapEx thing? Where is this captured in your budget?
Correct,
For the-
CapEx,
So there's a CapEx for the old buildings.
correct. We just called it 405 chapter maintenance, I think is what the,
It was 75.2. Is what it was.
yeah, it was what the total was for those 2 budget years.
Any further discussion?
Do we have a motion?
Yes, can you get a motion?
I'll make a motion to pay the 86,000 for B1, 2.
Can you get a second?
Yeah.
Second.
Second, Al. Roll call?
Sheldon, aye.
Lost eye.
Michelle, aye.
Dick, aye.
Okay, number 8, vendor agreement with West Central Community Action for fiscal year 2024 to 2025. Funds received last year, $119,483.62.
Annual agreement to process utility assistance funding for our customers. Light heat money.
Does that need a motion?
Yes,
Yep.
we're just receiving it, are we?
Mhm.
You have to,
Yeah, we just have to agree to it. I have the board approve it, sign it.
I'll take the motion to accept the $119,483.62 per the vendor agreement. with
No,
West
we are, that's the money we already got last year. We're just approving the contract for this next year. We're approving the agreement
Oh, I
for
see.
the next
Okay.
year. I just put that in there because you always ask how much we received.
Yeah, okay, yep. Then
That way I wouldn't have to try to read.
yeah. I make the motion to accept the agreement for this year, 24-25.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Sheldon, aye.
Lost eye.
Michelle, aye.
Dick, aye.
Okay, number 9, IT coordinator template agreement.
This agreement will be used to state what is required by another utility that we share our new IT coordinator with. So it's just basically some of the basic information or agreement, part of the agreement. And there will be, attachments to that working out exact duties and exact costs.
Yeah, then those were included, attachment A and B. This way, Bill can enter into the agreements with whoever he needs to, and we'll just have the same standard agreement for everyone.
So has this been through a legal review?
Yes.
Has been ours. Other entities we're talking to are reviewing it now.
Okay. So this is not the final document. It could change.
Not, well, you can answer that, Joe. I think it's staying the same.
I mean, I guess there's a chance that attachment A and B could adjust, but I know the original, or the basic agreement is what we're wanting to.
Yeah, I think the board should action the final document, right? Is this the final document? Or is A and B the final document, or which is the final?
No, I mean, there could be changes, yes, there could be changes,
But it could be the final one.
yes.
Right.
We're hoping it's the final one.
Are you having any interest yet?
Yes, we do.
Any other questions? If not, can I get a motion?
Make a motion to approve the template agreement as is.
Second.
Roll call.
Yeah. I'll vote yes, I think the board should be presented with final documents, not draft documents to vote upon. But if we're confident this is not gonna change, I'll vote yes.
The one major entity is okay with it, and then there's another entity that
Has the
Just
city
haven't-
reviewed it?
they're reviewing it
Working
right
on it.
now.
I mean, I guess it comes down to it, I mean, based on timing,
Gene
I
is.
guess we could come back at the September meeting.
Gene, is there been any problems with this?
Again, we are looking, I think it's a great opportunity, a great partnership. At the 30,000 foot level makes a lot of sense. City is definitely looking to partner on this. And sat down with Joe and Brian and Jenny a week ago. Got the updates, and at least from, we've not had the city attorney give it a final review. I think to Jim's question, could there be changes? Possibly, but in terms of the meat and potatoes, it covers that. Was there some other legalese that may change? Possibly.
And if there are terms that can't be agreed upon, there are like 4 or 5 other entities that are interested in it. So we would be able to fill the agreement.
Okay.
If that helps with your decision.
No, it's just a general question, is this the final document or not? If it's not, then great. We'll forge ahead, and then if it gets modified, I would expect that it comes back to the board.
We have a roll call.
Yeah, I guess that's easy enough.
Yep. Sheldon, aye?
Lost that?
Michelle, aye.
Take a side?
Okay, number 10, resolution honoring the service of Douglas Hamer to the Harlan Municipal Utilities.
Yeah, just a big thank you to Doug for his service to HMU, and best of luck to him in the future.
Okay. Number 11, Bobcat compacting.
Oh, we need
Oh.
can we get a motion and some action on that?
Yeah, I'll make the motion to honor Doug for his service as part of our HMU board.
One second.
Roll call.
Sheldon, aye?
Lost that?
Michelle, aye.
Take a side?
Number 11, Bobcat compact excavator, E38 R2 series, rollover lease in the net amount of $5,450.
Yeah, annual lease agreement, which basically we started 3 years ago.
I think so. I think it was 3. Or was,
And actually, with this yearly payment, we actually get a rollover where they take, I mean, it's just an advantage, they take that year-old piece of equipment that we've been using. They've got a pretty good, I guess, rapport, I guess, if that's the right word to use, as far as people that want, you know, not a brand new machine, or they'll take those year-old machines at a little lesser cost. So basically, we just pay this yearly fee and we get a brand new piece of equipment each year for that lease. And that one would be our mini backhoe.
Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the rollover lease in the amount of $5,450.
Second.
roll call.
Sheldon, aye?
Lost that?
Michelle, aye.
Take a side?
Okay, number 12, Bobcat compact track loader, T66 T4, rollover lease in the net amount of $5,450.
I'll make the motion to approve the Bobcat track loader rollover lease in the amount of $5,450.
Yeah, second payment.
Roll call.
Sheldon, aye?
Lost that?
Michelle, aye.
Take a side?
Okay, number 13, vacuum excavator bids received from Ditch Witch in the amount of $103,235.25. And Vermeer in the amount of $104,900. Recommendation is Vermeer due to delivery of equipment.
Yeah, basically on that, and also the Vermeer machine is available in like 2 to 3 weeks. Ditch witch machine would not be available for at least 6 months. They're talking 6 months to a year.
Oh, wow.
And HMU has also been impressed with Vermeer's maintenance and repair service on our existing equipment. Not just our existing Vermeer equipment, one of our existing potholers that's not a Vermeer. The manufacturer or service company for that particular machine, we've had issues with them even fixing problems with it. Vermeer has come and picked up that machine and went and actually got the repairs done when, the old manufacturer or service company couldn't get things fixed on it. So, we've had very good luck with Vermeer, I guess, on serviceability. So, I guess that's where we're looking at kind of the offset. I know the Vermeer machines is just a little bit more, but we feel just the availability and the service kind of outweighs that at this point, if that makes sense.
Is this part of the CapEx budget for this year?
Correct.
Or what was the amount in that budget?
I'd have to get a copy of that.
I
for sure.
wasn't given that
Yeah.
information.
But as far as I know, talking with Donald and Colburn, it was within, I guess I was under the impression that it's within budget amount. They didn't tell me any different, I guess, at that point.
So I'll make the motion to go with the higher quality service bid from Vermeer of $104,900 for the vacuum excavator.
Second, the motion.
Roll call.
Sheldon, aye.
Lost eye.
Michelle, aye.
Because I,
Okay, thank you. Number 14, mower bids received from Nelson Farm Supply in the amount of $17,400, $13,850, $16,100.09, $15,650.99, and Steve's Repair in the amount of $12,000.
Yeah, like I say, their recommendation would be low bid from Steve's Repair. The four different machines that we priced out at Nelson's, and then Steve Repair is out of Defiance, actually. We strive to try to stay in town with our business, but with that price difference, I think it's probably more.
Is Nelson Farm Supply actually considered in town? In the city limits?
Well, true, they're actually outside city limits, but.
They have utilities with us?
So they are a customer.
Yeah, they have our water and gas, not electric.
Yeah.
But I guess at that point, for that much of a difference in price, I guess we couldn't maybe necessarily justify.
You're saying we could not?
Could not necessarily justify staying more local. Unless the board has other feelings.
I just can go with the lower bid if it's,
Why are there four amounts?
yeah.
Those four amounts one was for a Toro machine, one was for a Cub Cadet machine.
And Steve's Repair is the same for all.
Yeah, it's a different brand. Steve's is a Country Clipper, but they all had the same specs, commercial, certain horsepower, certain width of deck.
I do have a little problem with,
Noise hearing.
buying out of town instead of our customer. I'm just gonna put that out there.
And I know we got a policy in place that talks about striving to stay local. I don't know, maybe if there is, at some point, we probably should possibly sit down or come to an agreement that, do we look at a certain percentage of cost? If it's over a certain amount or a certain percentage, then the locale, being local kind of goes out the door.
Did that policy have a percentage in it?
No,
It didn't.
There's a $5,400 difference between 17 and 12.
But only 1,800 us put in.
yes, on that bottom, if you go to, 15,650.
They're not really apples to apples, so are they? Two different changes.
Correct, I mean, we tried on that, Mike, like I said, a commercial unit then had a 60-inch deck, and then we gave them like a horsepower range of like 30 to 40 horse.
But we do not currently have a policy right now. We went out and sought bids, which is what we're required to do. I agree with Al, I think there's value in
Correct.
providing business to our customers. But at the same time, we're good neighbors within the county as well. So if we were looking at Steve's repair that was in Potawatomi County,
Mm-hmm.
It'd be different. Yeah.
I really think that would be a no-go. but-
He's in Shelby.
And then right below that, we offer to give Nelson Farm Supply business as well. If it was,
Correct.
if we were stacking up two businesses outside, or two procurements outside the city, I would probably,
Then have a problem.
I would have a little more of a problem.
Mhm.
I will agree with you on that.
Yeah, I do think we do need to go back and maybe look at what our policy is, if there is one, what,
Yeah, I'll send it to you right now, because I actually sent it to all of them before they made this decision.
oh, okay.
So are we gonna go with the $12,000 bid, or are we going to?
We would need a motion, if whatever you guys decide, we would need a motion on it.
And basically, like I said, this is replacing an older unit that we use to mow around the wells in the well field and then also inside the substation. Basically, what this unit's used for.
I guess, due to item 15, I will go ahead and make the motion to accept the bid of $12,000.
Can I get a second?
Yeah, I'll second it, absent the, if the policy doesn't negate it, then I would second it.
Same.
Roll call.
Sheldon, aye.
Want to say?
Michelle, aye.
Take the time.
Tractor bids received from Nelson Farm Supply in the amount of $49,998, and Robinson Sales in the amount of $50,313. Recommendation is low bid from Nelson Farm Supply.
Yeah, this item covers the replacement HMU's, it's a small utility tractor with a loader and bush hog on the back. Also used down mainly in the well field for mowing down there. Current tractor, loader, and mower, I guess I don't have an exact year on it, but we're thinking it's 30+ years old, so.
It's actually in the 80s,
Oh, 80s, okay.
yeah,
So,
high 80s, like 89.
so it's been around a long time, so we thought time to get, I mean, it's been a good unit, but I think it's starting to kind of, we're starting to have some issues, so. And we are getting some trade value out of it.
Is this in the budget?
Correct. That was also a line item under the CapEx.
Okay. Yeah, I'll make the motion to approve the purchase of a tractor from Nelson Farm Supply at $49,988.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Sheldon, aye.
Want to say?
Take the side.
And number 16, sponsorship and advertising options for channels 14 and 15. We spent a lot of time on this.
Yeah, so basically we're adding options for advertisers to purchase a 30-second video ad and a 10-second voiceovers to be played during HMU's new live stream events. And then there's also options for slide ads on channels 14 and 15. I don't know if you want to add anything to that, Docs?
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be, with all of our new sporting stuff, all our new equipment that we've gotten, we'll be going live on channel 15. And this will kind of give us, we never had this before, where we were rolling ads on a live event. And it would always be on the replays that we would insert the ads. So with the equipment that we purchased, and actually Pizza Ranch donated it to us, all the equipment we needed to do this. So we're able to go live at the football field and on the road games and other local events. I mean, this isn't just for the sports. We were live on the fair.
Those are good shots.
And we'll be able to have advertisements during breaks. So it's a good time to spotlight, you know, our advertisements during live events on YouTube and on channel 15.
Yeah, and I think the YouTube thing's big. Or it should be big for the advertisers.
And we've already said we're getting more advertising.
Yep, we've already picked up some new advertisements already.
Good job.
Just a quick, so taking the previous discussion and bringing it to this, will customers be given a discounted rate compared to non-customers?
We do not have that in the rate structure. Because we kind of figure if you're in Harlan, you are an HMU customer, whether it's electric, gas, water, or telecommunications.
I just mean like if you have an external business that wants to come in and advertise.
From out of town.
Right.
Yeah, I guess we've never had that situation yet, so that is something to think about.
And for success, right? We do have, I don't know, who knows? It's just a thought, to Al's point earlier, I think it's how we incentivize and encourage economic development within the city proper is really a tenet of what we are able to do. How we do that should be a consideration when we start setting rates and we start making subscription or advertisement pricing.
We can't even get them to update the Hy-Vee or anything else in this town. We're gonna get new.
That's a good suggestion, because I don't think we've ever even tried to
Yeah.
sell outside of our
Yeah.
customer base.
Yeah,
so
that's right.
I don't
Exactly.
think that's anything we've ever thought of, so.
Caught us off guard, I mean, yeah, I mean, I'm sure there is,
Right.
because they're trying to get business in Harlan.
Right. You go after Family Dollar, you
Yeah.
go after Casey's, you go after
He
whatever.
did say though, Brian did explain that when it's corporate, it's harder to get companies to come in.
Like Casey's.
Yeah.
Casey's won't do it, so it is harder to get, during our meeting
Right.
that we had, it's harder to get the corporates to come in because of the different, Casey's isn't gonna do it because it's corporately owned.
But like Family Dollar is one that would have been approached because they are in town.
Right. You could get the branches of the service, you could get, there's all kinds of folks that would probably be willing to make,
Might get Steve's Repair.
might get Steve's Repair now. Anyway, I think it's fantastic if we go after it, right? And I think if we're going after it, we should go after it writ large and maybe have a plan on how to, anyway, that's
Yeah,
just a question.
We did put some limits in there because there comes a point when you're going through a game, you don't know how many timeouts there's gonna be, you don't know how many breaks there's gonna be, and you wanna make sure the advertisers that we do have are getting the proper recognition.
Right.
So we're trying to, you know, we have limits on both sets of ads.
Right.
Because we don't wanna get overloaded and somebody say, oh, mine only played twice and so-and-so's played 3 times.
That's called pricing, right?
Yeah.
So that's a good problem to have.
Oh, yeah,
If people are stacked up because they're
wanting to get on there.
wanting premium spots. So,
Right.
So what are we
Can we get a
voting on
motion
this?
to,
Say something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we have someone that goes out after advertising?
Yes, Brian and Jonathan both do.
Okay, okay. That's all I was wanting to know.
So can we get a motion?
Yeah, I'll make the motion for the authorizing sponsorship and advertising options on both channels 14 and 15.
I'll second the sponsorship.
Roll call.
Shelton, aye?
I'll say.
Michelle, aye.
Pick a side.
Okay. Number 17, information only, McClure Progress invoice, $13,406.
Yeah, it just covers ongoing engineering for the raw water improvements project during construction. Basically them doing some of the inspection or just checking on the project periodically. We're doing a lot of the day-to-day work, try to keep that cost down. But also them preparing, you know, the pay estimates and so forth, change orders, that kind of.
So is this an invoice to be paid, or why is it?
Correct.
Information only? Are we approving this, taking action on this?
Because you guys already approved the project.
Project, yeah, so it'll just run through, so it's just kind of an FYI.
Okay.
I mean, we're authorized to pay it, but just kind of letting you know.
And now, Joe, you're up.
All right, just a few items. Raw water improvements project update, all three new wells that we have drilled, and all existing wells are now tied in to the new mains, electrical and controls. McCarthy trenching set the roofs of the new wells 33 and 34 actually today, working on those. They're also starting to work on, we got a punch list put together here in conjunction with McClure Engineering as far as for McCarthy to start kind of cleaning some stuff up, you know, buttoning things up. So McCarthy will start working on that. Probably, I don't forget too anything this week, but probably next week start working on that to get things finalized so we can accept the project. Deep Well 35 is still scheduled to start construction in September with the final completion in December. So basically the original project bid is supposed to be final completion September 30th. Which they're gonna reach that with everything except for well 35. When we went from a shallow well to a deep well on well 35, with that change order, we increased or pushed out the completion date on that to December 31. I think they'll have it probably up and running in prior to that date. So everything else is supposed to be done except for well 35 at the end of September, which I don't think there's a problem with them hitting that date either. Overhead underground electrical project update, boring subcontractor for Burns Electric should complete all underground work by, I think they're thinking by the end of the month. They might go into that first week in September, just depending on, you know, weather, how things go. Burns Electric, the general contractor, is continuing to pull wire and set electrical equipment behind the boring contractor. Burns, at our meeting Monday, our weekly updated meeting, Burns feels that they're ahead of schedule. And project completion date is June 30th of 25. I know Al had asked about that, so. A reminder to our customers on helping HMU by completing their lead service line surveys, if not completed yet. The survey can be completed by going on to HMU's website under the public notice tab. But we still have one employee continuing to go to house on Wednesdays to help complete those surveys. And then we're having additional employees going house to house on Saturdays yet this month. And it will likely continue into September, you know, working on Saturdays also to try to get those completed. Roughly 600 surveys left to complete, or 70, you know, we're about 75% complete out of the 2,400 services we have. So we're getting, you know, roughly just under 100 per week, so hopefully by the end of September we'll be in decent shape. EPA's needing that information by October 16th. to have that all submitted to them. One anniversary for the month of August, Paul Winger, 24 years.
Yeah, sure.
And then I know I was gonna mention also, but I guess we've been talking about the live streaming, so home football game will be kind of the big test for that, to try to live streaming and adding in all the advertising, commercials, so forth, so we're really excited about that.
Is there any way to get a shout out at the game?
Oh,
You're looking at me?
I am looking at you.
You're talking to the wrong guy, talk to the school.
Okay.
oh, yeah, that'd be probably Anthony, yeah.
Would be pretty awesome,
Mhm.
but, you know, so.
Okay, is there any other questions?
Yeah, I have a couple.
Okay.
How are we recognizing Pizza Ranch for their donation?
They, I guess, and I could let,
Yeah, it would be like the in lieu. The amount of money that they spent is $6 more than what a standard 30-second advertiser had. So they are getting a 30-second ad.
Oh, I see, okay. All right.
Yeah.
It was $1,206.
Okay, all right. So are we still gonna tell them thanks, or?
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
yes.
formally. And then the next one is really pretty simple. So we've got a lot of things, you know, look at this picture on the wall, right? When we assembled, I wasn't here when we assembled the water tower.
yeah,
Are we capturing the over to under project? Are we capturing the well field, deep well projects? Are we capturing those in a way that, you know, progress can be depicted for, not nostalgia, but for, you know, for whether it's economic growth or it's community involvement or community pride or community something? Are we doing that? I'm guessing not.
we had not, no, not on those projects.
Well, they should all be thankful that we didn't have a water restriction this year.
Right.
That's one thing.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, with the, well, what we've put into the, what we've all budgeted and had
Yep.
put in, I mean, I would think the customers would recognize that there was no water restrictions this year.
Right.
As it was in the past, we could have had a water restriction this year. There was a couple weeks where it was pretty dry.
Yeah, it's not proven the negative that we didn't do something, it's we did something.
Right.
So how do we capture that? That would be my recommendation.
That's like with the storms this year. I don't believe we had any outages to speak of. If we did, they were very short.
Yeah, typically less than an hour, if not
Yes.
a half hour.
So that's a pretty big deal right there.
Mhm.
If you add it to, then you took some sign.
Yeah, it's just something that was done in the
Yeah.
past, so it's
Yeah.
useful and meaningful. What is being done is useful and meaningful. It should be, doesn't have to be celebrated, it just ought to be captured in some way, shape, or form.
Maybe go out in the newsletter, like a picture,
Yeah, or the newspaper runs a,
Yeah,
but the newspaper's not even coming to any meetings anymore, right?
You can look through the minutes, I haven't seen them here.
I haven't seen them here in at least a year. 6 months, maybe more.
it's back to how to keep our customers informed that we're doing things.
we're
on
making
their behalf.
improvements.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't want my comment.
Well,
In the newsletter that only one customer reads.
Yeah, I get it thrown at me every month and
Yeah.
say, "Hey, here's what
Yep.
here's what you need to know," and I'm like, okay, well, why don't everybody read them? Because then we wouldn't have people working on Saturdays and Wednesdays going out and capturing pictures.
We went without it for 7 months and we only had one customer call about it.
Yeah,
So I'm not saying the newsletter is the answer, but I do believe there's a combination between the newspaper and doing, I suspect they probably captured those photos,
Probably.
back in the day, so anyway, just so much positive, that's just being assumed away, potentially, so.
I know we had a ribbon cutting, I think, beginning of the water project, I mean,
When it's done, we can have another ribbon cutting.
yeah.
Sure. And I think, you know, if you give Renee a call and just tell her you want to do a summer of progress article, you know, and give her the
Information,
give her the
yeah.
data, give her the information, she'll write one up for you.
Yeah.
To-do list.
Okay. Yeah.
Noted.
That's all.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
Any other business? Meeting's adjourned.